So today we're going to make all of this, 33 meals for my family of 14. Good morning. It's a crazy Monday morning here. We have sewing going on. Some of the girls are still working on the colonial dresses. And then we have a teething baby. But we took all that meat out last night and all the other stuff out last night. So I have a plan. So what I did here was write down what we have. So we have 3 pounds of hamburger, 3 veal, 6 chicken breast, 6 chicken breast packs. They're each like 4 to 5 pounds each. So about 30 pounds of chicken breast, 2 rabbits. There's actually 3 that hunk of meat that we didn't know what it was a fat rabbit. So chicken wings, 2 sausage, 1 cheese, 3 heart, 2 beef roast, 4 steak, 1 hot dog, 1 partridge, 3 whole chickens, sheep that was already cooked, a turkey, bread, cranberry bread, chicken broth, beef, and a beef broth and a pork roast. So those are the things that I'm wanting to use up. So what I have broken it down into that I'm going to do today is, let's see, I'm going to do a lasagna with the hamburger and the cheese. We'll do a lasagna. Then I have 4 roasts. I'm going to break those down into smaller roasts and then season them all up so that I can throw them in the Instapot so they'll be nice and quick. Right now they're bigger. They wouldn't be able to go all the way in the Instapot. So I'm going to cut these ones down like in half and it would just be like one meal, but they'll already be seasoned and have their seasoning in there. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to do 4 roasts, 3 veal stews, 3 honey mustard chicken, 3 sesame honey chicken, 4 steak. I'm going to do onions, peppers, and some seasoning stuff in there. 3 buffalo wings, 1 hot pot, a heart with onions and green peppers, partridge soup, 1 chicken enchilada with those. Remember I got those wraps? Let me show you. I had a bunch of these. Okay, something sticky on them. And there go the baby puffs. These beef-free wraps. So I'm going to try to make an enchilada casserole with those. And then let's see, I have sheep that's already cooked, so we're going to try to do curry. We've never done that before, but we're going to try and do that. A rabbit stew, and then I'm going to do 4 pork roast. Yes. So I also have those bones. So the first thing that I'm doing this morning is taking the bones and putting them in that big one. See the bones there? I'm just taking one bone at a time, and I'll keep the other bone. I think I'll put that maybe in the fridge or find another pot. I have some canners that aren't being used right now, so I might just use the canner bottoms. But I want to get the soup bones going. So as I chop veggies and stuff, I will throw, say like I cut onions, and that outer layer, I'll throw that right in the stock pot as well. So all morning as I'm prepping foods, then I'm doing that. Remember, I am not shopping specifically for this. So I didn't buy onions, I didn't buy peppers, I didn't buy any of that stuff. I'm using what's in my fridge, what's in my pantry, and we're going to make it work. So come along. Okay guys, so we are going to do just a couple quick things here. Last night we had taco soup, but we're not going to want that. So this is what's left in it. But it's a little, there's not a lot of soupness left to it. So I'm just going to add 2 quarts of broth in here and mix this up. Could you grab me a spoon? I'm going to mix this up and then bag this up first. So my daughter did as you saw, the lamb curry. I'm trying to get on some like quick, easy type things first so I can just kind of say, okay, those are done. So we're going to do taco soup here. We're going to do 2 bags of this. And I think 2. Might end up being 3. We'll see. And then probably our roast. Let's see. So our taco soup was just that taco meat that we had from last month's stock up. And then I added some butternut squash and some green beans and some broth in there to make the taco soup. What else did we add in there? I think that was it.
Cabbage.
Oh, cabbage. Yes, I did. I had 1 bag of frozen cabbage, so I threw that one in there as well. So if you watch the first part of this video, then you will see what all I pulled out of my freezer, and you'll know what I'm trying to use up today. So I'm just gonna dump this into these 2 here. And put this by the sink. Okay, so my daughter's going to take these off and put them with the other meals while I get started on the next thing. So what I'm going to do next is the beef roast. And I'm going to take, I'm not going to use those for the beef roast because it's a big hunk. So I'm just going to take my hunks of beef. Maybe I'll do the pork first because this is the pork one. So what I'll do is just I have all the bags here that I've already labeled, and so I'm going through here to look for the pork. I have 1. I think I put 4 together for that, but I'm not quite sure if I brought another pork roast in or not. I might only be doing 2 bags of this. We shall see. This is still partially frozen. I'm just going to undo this. And into, I'll probably just do 2 with this because that would fit. If I cut this in half, then that would fit into, that would fit into the Instapot with no issues at all. So I am going to just do that. Looking for my knife. Here we go. So I'm just gonna cut here. Make sure you get a good sharp knife. There we go. So we're gonna take, this is the size that I'm using just for a 1 meal roast. I'm doing it like this so that I can put it in my Instapot instead of most of the other pieces are like big that I put in my oven, but I'd like just a couple that I could toss in my Instapot really quick. Something that I could even like start before church, and then when we came back, it would be ready for lunch. So that would be good. Let's see. So to this, I am going to add a big old hunk of garlic. Same in the other bag. A little bit more. And then she cut up some, my daughter was cutting up some onion over here for me, which was really helpful. I'm using up the rest of the onions that we have, just various onions. So it's half a cup. So I'm just going to take about this, throw it in, this, toss it in. Then I'm going to grab some Worcestershire sauce. It's going to be about 4 tablespoons. And then I'm going to add, looking for my, okay, this one I think I'm going to do some chicken broth here. So I'm going to open my chicken broth, and it said, actually this was one of the ones that didn't seal the other day. So So I'm going to add about 2 cups of broth in each bag. Then I'm going to grab some carrots and open these up. Don't tip over. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, the last thing I need to do is potatoes for this. So I'm going to do 1 quart of potatoes in each, but I'm going to drain this starch out. I don't really want that for this recipe in there. So I'm going to just take the lids off, and then I'm going to strain them in my sink and run some cold water over them. So I'll be right back. And we are back. So I just strained those into there. I have them over the pot that I just took the taco soup out, just so if it drips, then it's there. So I'm going to just scoop half into each of the bags. I think it's about 3 cups of potatoes. And that's what your bag's going to look like. And so you would put this in the Instapot for 70 minutes on high pressure, and that would be a pork meal, a pork roast meal. So if you wanted to make that into like a full meal, you could add some veggies on the side, or you could add some rice on the side, or when it was done, you could break it up a little bit and then make it into a big soup. I like to have that extra liquid in there so I can add some cornstarch at the end. I'll pull the roast out after it's cooked, and then I'll make a gravy with what's left in there. So I'll pull everything out onto a plate or onto a platter, and then I would I'd turn it on to saute and add some organic cornstarch or arrowroot powder to make it into a gravy. Alrighty. So she's going to grab that one too. I'm going to go put these by the sink. Now instead, I think, is to do the wings. So all I'm doing for the wings, this is just really easy. You could make your own sauce, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to take a bag that says buffalo wings, and I'm using up some of these that I bought a while ago. So I'm going to use some of those up. Just throwing the wings in. So we'll come back around to the beef roast. We just had a bunch of stuff stacked into a laundry basket, and they were on the bottom, so it kind of like insulated them. So they're still, I think, too frozen to cut. We'll check out when we're done with this little thing here. Could you grab me the other wings? So I want to use these up, and then I have 2 jalapeno buffalo, and then 1 of the no dairy buffalo with avocado oil. So there we go. And so I'll dump this in, and then I'll fill the bottle about half with water to use that all up. But there's still a lot left in there. You can see there's still a lot left in there. So I'll just grab a little bit of water for that. I wonder who else uses the water trick with your condiments and stuff. Especially when I'm cooking, I always do this. Do you want to work on the other ones of these in the bags? So I think she's gonna, my daughter, she's gonna work and do the other wings. We're doing them all the same, just like this. And then I'm gonna do the veal stew with you guys. Yeah, that's right. Trying to take out some of that air from the bag. So there we go. Buffalo wings. Now, for the veal stew, I'm just going to keep throwing things in the trash. For the veal stew, we are going to grab the bags. I have 3 bags, and I'm going to grab the meat. I have small portions of these here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all the ingredients in here, and then I'm going to say to add 4 quarts of beef broth and not add that to the actual bag, because if not, then it would be too much, but this would actually make a good stew. So I'm adding all the veggies into there first. So I'm going to add the meat. It's about a pound, pound and a half, depending on the bag. We actually had, we normally don't do veal, but we had a cow who last year injured their leg really bad. And it was more humane to put that calf into the freezer than to try to help the calf. I think it had slipped and fallen on some ice, and then everyone was beating up on it, and we tried to bring it into the other area and like away from the other animals and stuff, and still had issues. So it wasn't getting any better, and we knew that it would probably end up dying. So before it did, we just decided just to put it out of its misery. So hence we have veal, but normally we don't do veal unless it's a situation like that. So we have this veal stew. Then we're going to add a quart of semi-drained. I'm putting this through the strainer here. I have a strainer sitting on top of that taco soup bowl thing. And so I'm just putting it there so most of the liquid's out. So I'm going to put the quart of green beans, yellow beans, each of these. There's been such weird storms around the nation. I don't know if you guys have been bothered by them or not, but my friend in Georgia, she had a tornado come through her house. We've had like really warm weather and then an ice storms. Some people in the middle of the country are getting like warm weather one day and ice and snow the next day. It's just such odd weather. I remember when we first moved up here, there was so much more snow than there is now. I guess these ones are green. So green or yellow beans. Oops. I don't know if I did or there was a chip in that jar, but I gotta put this to the side now because there's a little chip here. So we're making those colonial dresses. My daughter's on the last dress, then I think everyone has one. It took me like 6 or 7 hours the other day. I was trying to make a nursing top. I'm putting this to the side. I was trying to make a nursing top in the dresses, but I kept like, obviously there's no pattern for this, And so I kept like taking it apart, and I tried to do some ruffles on the edge, and that didn't really work, and just going back and forth with that. And it was like, oh my goodness. But finally, by that evening, I had a dress officially made. So that was a wonderful blessing. And I'm sure my little 9-month-old will appreciate that. So now we're doing a pint of carrots. We didn't get a lot of carrots this year, so you could use a quart, but we didn't get a lot. So we're just gonna do a pint. And I'm trying to use up some of the canned foods that I have. And now I'm going to add some organic sweet peas, and I'm going to drain those as well. My seed catalogs have been coming in for the year, as everyone else's. I think I'm pretty much all set. I have to re-look through things and see what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to do. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So this month we are 100% on this pantry challenge. Next month, these meals are actually for next month, for February. So these meals will be for February, and these are all from the pantry. But we are going to be going to Colonial Williamsburg in March. So I want to do a big kind of stock up before we go, as well as getting things for the trip itself, because I want to be able to bring food down there, especially with food allergies. You like to try to bring food wherever you can. So we'll bring some food down there, but also like snacky type things, and I'll need to order those in February, so they would be here for March and that type of stuff. So we're not doing like a full month next month, but we are doing kind of like a partial month. Like all of our meals will already be situated for the month of February from our food storage. So now I'm just going to add about half a cup of onion. And then could you grab me tomato paste?
Yeah, probably.
3. So we're doing garlic now, like a spoon, this regular spoon. Of that, and then she is just going to grab me some tomato paste, and I need to grab my seasoning. Oh, so I think you guys know I had like a bump on the head a couple weeks ago, and it's been so much better, except for when I have had a little sleep at night. Then I feel really like flighty. So today is one of those very flighty days for me, unfortunately. So Abdul. I don't know, maybe like a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons, something like that. And then we're going to do some pepper. About a teaspoon of that. That's my washer machine. It's ready to take off. It's actually on the other side of like where the camera's at. So about a teaspoon of salt, give or take, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm going to scoop out, I gotta get a spoon. And scoop out this tomato paste for each bag, and then we will be good for that. Let's see what else we have over here. Is it just the beef roast? Yeah. Okay. So the only other thing I have over here is the beef roast. So what I'm going to do is shut you guys off for a minute, and I'm going to get my stuff ready for doing my chicken breast meals. We're doing honey sesame chicken, and so this is the veal stew. So we're doing honey mustard chicken and honey sesame chicken. So I'm just going to clear this spot up a little bit so I have some space, and then be back. Okay, so now we're over at the stove, which is kind of like my section was over here. Now it's over here. So I'm just going to add these. Can you grab me a lighter? So I'm going to put maybe a cup of broth in the bottom of these sausages here. I'm just going to, they're just various ones. I had some of the Cajun sausage, and then I had some hot dogs, and I'm going to make a dish out of these, but I want to like just put a little bit of broth in there. And the rest of that broth is going to go in with my chicken meals. So this little mess wants to hell. So we're going to not have the burner on right now. We're going to dump these in. So this, I have 3 pounds of hamburger in here. Move your finger, please. And then we're going to dump these in. And this is sauce for a lasagna that we're going to make. So 1. Here you go. 2 hands.
Enough.
2.
Enough.
I think maybe 4. And then we'll stir it. And then you and Cheyenne could look for. You guys could look for Italian seasoning powder.
Done.
So.
That one.
Can I have that opener? Yeah. And then we're going to do 4.
What?
Dump that one in.
What's the...
You're a good cooker. Can you use a spatula and stir it now?
Okay. This.
Yeah.
Little more.
A little more. Scoop and stir. So then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning in. Quite a bit. And then I'm going to add some garlic in. You can stir it a little more if you want.
Okay.
And then,
This.
let's see,
Mix it.
some salt.
I miss one of do that.
There
I
we go.
do something. Mix it.
Yeah, can I have the churn?
Okay.
Mix. You want to stand with her and mix this while I do that over there. Okay. So we're going to turn you guys around here. And I'm looking for gloves now, which is a mystery.
Behind it. Over by the light.
Over by the light behind it. All right, I gotta go around the other side. So we did this thing while you guys were gone, and we were able to cut the beef roast in half. So basically what I did was we prepped the beef roast in here, and we're going to add the ingredients to there. And I also had my daughter, she put all the chicken in the bags. So now we're just like prepping everything up. So you can use fresh potatoes in this, or you could use canned potatoes. I'm using canned potatoes. They will get a little bit mushy. We'll probably like serve it with a side of, you can do like carrots and potatoes like in the bag if you had fresh. But what I'll probably do is I'm going to put the potatoes in because I want a nice gravy after. and the potatoes will make a nice gravy after. Okay, guys, I don't want any to yell, please. So I'm going to take about a quart in each bag.
You want this? Your turn now.
You're cooking good. So they're actually kind of like right behind me here. Cooking together. So helpful.
This one's not all done.
Wow. Your turn now.
So then I am going to add, load it. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce, which I don't have my recipe here. Excuse me. Nut is missing. It's about 4 tablespoons. No, it's not that one, not this one. I need that big paper.
I think that's what it is.
She's gonna look to see if she can find it. So about 4 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce in each bag. And then we're going to add, nowhere. I wish I could like place you someplace different so you could see better. I'm hoping once we get the new camera, I'll be able to angle it better for you guys. Okay, so now about 4 tablespoons of steak seasoning as well. Whoa. And then same with the cornstarch. I use this here. So this bag will probably do all 4 of these. This will help with the gravy as well. There we go. And then we're going to add garlic, which I left over here. About that much. I had more of our own, but it was in the freezer, so it was not easily accessible to us. So after we add the garlic, we are about done with that. So we will put these beef roasts on for 70 minutes on high pressure. If you like we like things well done. So if you like yours, so it's not well done and there's like pink in the middle, you want to do it for 55 minutes. Okay. So these are all done. Get some air out of the bag. And that's what that looks like. Yum, yum. Oh no, wait, stop. Sorry, I forgot something. You want 2 cups of beef broth in there as well. So I have the home canned beef broth. So you have the opener over there?
Yes.
Someone did ask me how I open my canning jars, and it's just this little part on the on the can opener, and I just pull it up like that. So here we go. We're gonna put half of these in each. That looks right.
You're sure she was going to take the bags to the table with them?
Like that.
And then the more thing.
Yeah.
And then more on it.
See how nice the gravy that will make?
There you go.
Because you'll get the meat juices as well and the seasonings, and it makes a really nice gravy. So we're gonna do half. And I don't think we need any more. I think in each of these. And I'll be back in just a minute. I want to clean this a little bit so we're ready. So now I have my bags of chicken here, and we're going to do the honey sesame chicken first. So we need about a cup of honey. In each bag. You need me? Yep, good job. Kids are about, they're eating lunch and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. My daughter's working on making the honey mustard sauce to go on top of the other honey mustard. But we're doing honey sesame chicken right now. So a cup each. Watching my sausages over there as well. Because I don't want them to burn. I want them just a little bit cooked, and then I'm going to round them up and add some stuff to them. And then my daughter just turned the sauce on for the lasagna. Good with that. I heard this weird story about like vaccinating honeybees. Did anyone else see that? I don't know what is up with that. I gotta look into that more. If anyone has any good articles or whatever, just link them below because I'd love to hear more about that. Sounds odd. I like in pictures like a little bumblebee with his butt sticking out and somebody like vaccinating it, but I don't know what it actually means. I haven't looked it up. I just heard I saw a headline actually. So then I'm going to do a cup of onion in each. I had various red and regular onions. We're just using up what we had in the pantry. They're starting to get a little bit soft, and then we took the skins of those and actually put them in with the beef broth. Okay, so that, and then I need garlic. It's 2 cloves or about that much. Oh, that works. About that much. Let's see. Salt and pepper. About a teaspoon in each. Pepper. Salt. I need like one of those. I saw somebody the other day. They had a like this salt bowl thing that you like pinch the salt out. I think that's more my style because the salt shaker doesn't work. I need way too much salt. So I'm gonna look into those. And then we need a little bit of red pepper. Probably about, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon, maybe a little less, depending on your family's preference. And I'm going to do half a cup of ketchup. Let's see if this is open. Nope. Hard to get that with some gloves on. Half cup. Half cup. And about half cup. Are you grabbing the recipe or the?
I can't figure out what the last word is.
turn those sausages off there. Sriracha. So that is the stuff up there. It has a yellow tip and a kind of like a pointy tip.
I see it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our honey sesame chicken. So basically, you're going to cook this in the Instapot for 20, 25 minutes, depending if it's thaws, and you can do it 20 minutes. If not, you want to do it 25 minutes. When it comes out, then you just sprinkle sesame seeds over it. So that is where the sesame comes in. If not, they just get cooked down and you can't even see them, to be honest. And then we are going to work on our honey mustard chicken. She's going to take those for us. Thank you. And these. So we are going to do paprika. So basically what this is this has a rub on it. So we'll cook that in Instapot, or you could fry it, or you could, whatever you want to do to cook the chicken. And then the sauce would go on after, and then you'd cook it for an additional maybe 10 minutes or something like that. So I am going to do 2 teaspoons paprika. I put more chicken in here than normal, so I do have another video that does this recipe, but this just has a little bit more chicken than normal because we have been eating a lot of meat. Awesome, thank you so much. Can you maybe put that into 3 separate bags like we do with the, yeah. She's going to get that situated, and then I'll tell you what's in there. So 2 paprika. Do I have mustard or no? Oh yeah, in front of my face. In front of my face.
Little ones too.
Ooh, sticky hair. So I'm going to do 1, 2. I don't know. I think I'm going to do a tablespoon because I'm me. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of the mustard for the rub. There we go. We use, if you haven't seen other videos, we use this. It's a local mill that we have. It's a raised mustard mill, and it's a local mill, and they stone grind their mustard. We actually went there and watched them do it before. It's really interesting, actually. So I need a 1/4, which would be half a teaspoon of cayenne. I think I have close to 5 pounds in here this time, or a little bit more than 5 pounds. They're like 5.5 pounds. Last time I did 3 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds. So that's the difference here as far as measurements go. And then salt and pepper. So I'll just do that like this. This one you don't want too much pepper in because you have the other spices, and you don't want the pepper to overpower the other spices. So make sure you don't add too much of that. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon or something like that. And there we go for that. Okay, so then what we're going to do, I don't know if you've seen before, but we do our, just kind of rubbing it around a little bit, but we do our maple mustard pork the same way. So we're going to put that and rub it the best that we can on there, like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the bag. Thank you. We're going to take the bag and we're going to put clear tape on that and right on the top of that. And in the bag has 1/2 cup of honey, 3 tablespoons of chicken stock, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of sriracha. So that is what is in there. So let's go look at the board and see what we have left to do today. Obviously, we still need to make the lasagna and the hot dish. I got that from Jenny from the Bonell family. I don't know if I pronounced it right. She's another large family mom. She has 16 children. And so I'm going to try just using what we have for various sausage. I know in Australia, their sausage is totally different. And, but I'm just going to try it with this, and I think it will turn out all right. So we have done the roast. We've done the veal stew. We've done the honey mustard chicken. We've done the honey sesame chicken. We have not done the steak. We did the buffalo wing. So we're working on the hot pot. We have not done the heart, the partridge, the chicken enchiladas, or the rabbit stew. We did the pork roast. So I think what we need to do is get some pots going with the chickens, so we can take the chickens off the bones for the chicken enchiladas, and that those can go on the wood stove for the day. And then what else? The steaks should be pretty easy. We'll put those together in a couple minutes, and then we'll do that when we do the hot pot. So I will be back in a couple minutes, and I think we're going to boil down the rabbits and the chicken, and I'll be girl behind me over there. She is getting all the dishes done, which is awesome. That's like the hardest part of this whole process. Starting to fade. We are 21 meals down, and we have a few more to go. So here we go. Here is the sausage. This is going to be for the sausage hot pot. So I just have what sausage that I had, and then I put in about a cup of chicken broth here, and then I'm going to strain out some carrots and peas. Our sauce is done to start packing on our lasagna, so we can do that in a couple minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add straining these, and I'm adding sausage and peas. And some onions. Not that much. And turn this. Did I turn this on? Yep, that's on. Okay.
Yeah,
so that is turned on. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sauce here. About like that. And then a little bit of honey. Let's see where I got my little bit of honey. And then my little bit of honey is going to come here. And then what we're going to do is just stir this all in together and let it cook for a few minutes while we make our steak bags. I think I'm actually going to add a tomato paste as well, but I'll do that in a minute once this is done. Alrighty, so now we're going to scootle over here. Thank you, you helping? Okay, so now what I've done is I've taken, we can move this. Maybe you can put her by the sink to wash dishes. Do you want to help Hadessa wash dishes? Go push this by the sink, and then you can wash dishes. So I'm taking all these bags. I have 4 steak bags and then 1 heart bag, which is right here. So what we're going to do to this is we're going to add, looking for my scoop. I should actually just grab some gloves. I forgot my apron, but that's okay. I was feeding the baby, so I always forget to put my apron back on after. So, I'm going to take some onions. We love onions in our steak. I don't know about y'all, but this is our last recipe that's going to call for onions as well. So I'm going to put onions in all these bags. And then we will add our spices. The steak bags will be fairly easy. I don't add too much. So we just have, I had one bag of small peppers left in the refrigerator. So I sliced those up, and then I had one bag in the freezer, and I used that in one of the bags. So now I'm going to take and do some steak seasoning. This actually, I would have preferred to make this myself, but this is what I'm using. I want to use this up so I can make some of my own and put it in here. So quite a bit of steak seasoning. We don't like really bland foods. We like things spiced up and tasting yummy. Okay, so I'm going to do the steak seasoning, and then I'm going to do some of our that's a way to use up some seasoning. Okay, then I'm going to use some of our red pepper flakes, just a pinch in each. So again, I'm doing the same thing to the heart as I am to the steaks. So if you've never had beef heart just tastes like steak, to be honest with you. Some people say it tastes better. I think it just tastes like steak, and I'm kind of picky about my food. Okay, so that is that. Now we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. So this Worcestershire sauce does not have soy in it. A lot of them do have soy in it, so just watch your labels if you can't have soy. So I'm just kind of dividing this up between the bags. And that is about it. All right, so now I'm going to add a squirt of ketchup in each. I don't know. Need more dishes? You need more dishes to do. How about these? I'll give you these ones. Careful, because those ones are glass. Okay. So that, excuse me, that is it. There we go. So we have 1 heart and 4 steaks. And I'll be back in a minute with the hot dish and we'll So we are back. I am mostly done, but my laptop is what I take the longer videos on. And the other day it didn't really like us, and it just decided to completely trash a bunch of videos. So I don't really want to wait for my rabbit and my chickens to finish boiling down. Had I thought prior, what I would have done is put them on before I started. So I will tell you what we have here. And the only thing that we're waiting for is the enchilada casserole, chicken enchilada casserole we're going to make after the chicken's done. We're going to debone it, keep the bones in for broth, and make the chicken enchilada casserole. And then we're going to pull the rabbit meat off of the 3 rabbits that we have boiling down. And that I already have the bag all prepped with everything in it. We just have to add the meat to it. Okay, so we got 2 lamb curries. We got this is the honey, what is this? Honey mustard chicken. So we got 3 of the honey mustard chickens. Can you tilt down a little bit? There you go. And then we have 1 heart, We have 2 taco soups, 2 pork roasts. We have 3 sets of the buffalo wings. We have 3 veal stews. We have 2 lasagnas. These are gluten-free lasagnas. We actually put our own homemade cheese in these, so these are okay. So we try to avoid, or some of us try to avoid dairy. Actually, we all try to avoid dairy, but some of us cheat more than others. How about that? But it's better to have the raw dairy versus the not raw dairy. So this is like our homemade cheese, and then that means that everybody in the household could have that. And then we use the jovial gluten-free noodles in that. And then the homemade tomato sauce and homemade burger. So we have 2 lasagnas here. This would actually be a meal and then maybe a lunch if we had like a big salad. It really depends on who's eating that day and how hungry people are. Okay, so those 2 lasagnas. And then we have 4 beef roasts. And then we have 3 honey sesame chickens. Then 4 steaks. I bagged up that hot pot that was on the stove. I did add 2 cans of the tomato paste to that. And then I did the bags for the rabbit stew. So there's a can of corn, a pint of carrots, a quart of green beans, a quart of potatoes, and then I added half a quart of spaghetti sauce and Italian seasoning and salt. That was all right.
Garlic.
And garlic, yes. So I have 2 of these rabbit stews all ready. So we'll just drop the meat into the tops of those and seal those off. So this is 33 meals. This will take us through the month of February and possibly into March, because sometimes if I have meals, then I could just, and I wanted to do something a little bit different and didn't want to have a freezer meal, then I can do that. But pretty much we have all our meals situated for the month of February. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.